Hello, and welcome to the Notion Rentals, Sales, and Labor CRM. This is going to be a top-down view of the workspace to showcase the major features of what this baby can do, and how to navigate around the workspace if it's your first time. There's a lot to cover, but just in this video, we're going to go over the homepage and the basic features of the workspace. To give you a basic understanding of how things are set up, the core of the workspace consists of the accounts, the contacts, the orders, and the inventory databases. They're all connected in one way or another to each other, and everything is pre-linked, so you don't have to spend too much time, if any, connecting databases. Starting off, we're just going to look at the home page here. From the top down, we can see all these quick buttons. You can make new accounts, new purchase orders, new contacts. The purchase orders, in this case, there's a bunch of different options. You can have a bunch of different purchase orders, but I have this one selected to the miscellaneous PO. If you wanted a specific one, you have to go into the purchase orders item yourself. And the other button here is the new reservation. This one's a bit more complicated. It'll create a new order along with a pre-linked line in the warehouse database that'll help you keep track of your gear once it leaves your possession. Once you click this button and your reservation is made, it'll take you to a new order that'll look something like this. Once it's open, you can populate it with all the relevant information like the company that you're working with, the contact of the people that you're working with, and any items you're renting out, labor that's on the job, and any miscellaneous items that you may have to charge for. Looking at this, you've got your availability, what's available that's not currently out for whatever reason. You have the quantity that you're billing for, the unit price of each item, the days billed, and a bunch of other information as well. You can see in the availability section, this guy is available, but for whatever reason, this guy is not available because, let's see, we have one gone, but we're trying to ask for one. Same thing here, the quantity is above what we actually have, and looking at this guy, there's an overlap. So I guess this particular light is unavailable because it's on a different job during the same dates that this order is. So that's just a brief understanding of how this is kind of set up. And you get a bunch of tabs here, but there's a lot to cover in the orders database, and this is just going to be a really brief overview of how this database works. So basically, you're going to have all the items in here, and it's all going to roll up to the gross income property. And if you wanted to see how you get to $1,700, you can go to View Details, and you have a bunch of subtotals, so you can see how this 1,700 price breaks down. So that's the orders database. There's a lot to say about this database and everything else that kind of goes into this, but I'll be covering all that in my tutorial series for those who buy the workspace. For now, we're just going to leave it at the basics. In terms of labor, we've got 3 different labor standards. We have a 8-hour, 10-hour, and a no OT standard for billing hours, all with automatic calculations. So all you need to do is put in the hours worked, and based on which standard you want, the database will calculate it for you. And that's where we'll leave the orders database for now. Like I said, there's a lot more to cover, but we gotta keep rolling. To briefly go over the rest of the homepage, you have a bunch of views here, almost like a grand overview of your business on a month-to-month basis. You can see all relevant orders, any items going out this month, invoices, POs, and damage items, all either coming up in the current month or things that have already passed but have not been completed. For example, if you go back to here, I need to update the warehouse order for this guy and mark some items as returned, since they did in fact get to me just fine. And knowing that we have 2 problem children here is important. This would have been something I did when I first checked in my gear from a client. You can also interact with some of these from the homepage. For example, in this guy, we can see that this guy is a whopping 37 days late. Once you get your payment, you can click the Mark As Paid button and it'll move over to the Done section. Finally, you have an Orders by Type tab, where you can see all the categories of orders you're working with. I work in the entertainment business, so I've got all of these specific items pre-made, but feel free to add your own and get rid of mine. Moving down, we have a to-do list here with some items directly related to orders if something needs to be done pertaining to that order. You'll notice if it's an auto-generated to-do list item, it'll have a circle emoji, and if it's made by you, it'll have a square emoji. So when we invoiced the order earlier, a list item was made that says to follow up with client about invoice, which since this guy was over a month late, this would be a good item to keep in front of you. And finally, I added this item with no order attached to it that's due today to make this intro video, which I'm doing right now. So I guess we can check that off. Finally, in this section, we have an overview of all the items moving in the current month. As you can see, we have 2 items that are marked as returned from the order we were in earlier, and we can see the problem children right here from the home page. We also have a missing tab where we can keep track of all the items marked as missing so we don't forget them, and an all-time tab just in case you wanted to see everything. Finally, and most simply, we have important contacts section, highlighting pinned contacts you want to keep on hand and keeping new contacts in the front of your database so that you can see and easily find their information. So that's it. I hope this has proved helpful, and if this is your first step in the tutorial series, then I'll see you in the next one. But if you're just shopping around, I hope that you take the next step of your business with me. Either way, take care and have a great day.